So mediums right now, in contemporary days, what advice would you give to them as far as saying, you need to blend more? What would they do in order to...
I think they should sit longer.
In development?
Absolutely. I think they're starting off far too quickly before they've got the basic, fundamental, philosophical understanding of mediumship. I certainly think they need to understand their own power more, and not really be pulled in so many different directions to be a universal medium, or what's the saying now? I'm an international. It's those labels that they're trying to get really can only come through the wisdom of the soul.
Exactly.
It can't come from all the demonstrations and the private sittings you do. It has to come from the wisdom of the soul. Yeah. So for many of our youngsters, I feel very sad for them, because they're being forced into a situation that really isn't right.
I also think maybe it's because of the television. I started off on television bringing the word out to change the consciousness, which I think we've, Spirit and myself, have helped to do. But unfortunately, television has a whole thing going on. And I find mediums nowadays, they think it's a get-rich-quick scheme.
Absolutely.
Because if you're on television, everybody associates television with money, making money, when really, being a medium, you don't make money. You just don't, and that's not the motivation. And I think that, unfortunately, people now going to mediumship thinking they could be a television medium or an international medium to make money. It's not the motivation. They totally don't have the right intent.
But James, you're a pioneer.
Yeah.
You're a pioneer. You began this journey for many, many people to bring, if you like, mediumship to the masses. And that's a pioneering spirit that you've come to do. That's your calling.
Definitely.
To do that. What we need now is those that are coming on now, the young ones now moving forward into that image, keep hold of the fact that they are pioneers. And there are so many droplets of God now being dropped into producers and directors and people in the media, where they'll say, no, we don't want that. We want the spirituality of it as well as we want the evidence. And pray God that comes soon. But the droplets are falling. We have got people in the media now that are not just wanting to actually go and feed mediumship and decry mediumship. So James, what are the misconceptions people have of you as a star?
As a star, as a TV star. Woo. Well, number one, I'm not a star. Number one, TV, I think, television. Forgive the pun, but I think is the greatest medium we have. In that, if you use television for the right way, you can reach the masses and you can change the consciousness. And I think that's my motivation. That was really what I went on that television box for. Many years ago, I sat with Leslie Flint, the physical medium, and we're sitting before we went to the seance room. We're sitting out and we're just talking, and there was a television set away, and he said, "James," I said, "Yes, Leslie." He goes, "You're going to be on that box one day." And he goes, "You have to use it responsibly." And I've never forgotten that. It's always been very, very true. So I think people have a sense of me that I'm this thing, and I'm not. I'm nothing like that. I'm a very down-to-earth, real person. And many people say, after having a sitting with me or seeing me in a group demonstration, a seminar, they'll say, "Wow, I didn't know how real you were. You're very down-to-earth and very human and very funny." And they say that. And say, "I didn't really know you. I had this misconception, a perception of you, and it wasn't very true." And I think the skeptics and all those types of people, believers, they make up a reality of you that's nothing to do with you. So it's a very strange thing.
I think sometimes with the skeptics, of course, it's because they're afraid to believe in it.
Yeah, fear-based.
It's fear-based, or they've become so caught up in the dogma that they can't step out of that and explore the other avenues. And I feel that it's right for them. I don't feel that everybody should believe in life after death and medium. I believe they should follow the truth of spiritual development leading to the spirit world making a contact, whether it be subjective or objective.
Maybe I agree with that, but I also think, my own thing here, I also think that for some skeptics, some believers, that they are afraid. I think it is fear-based because their whole world, their whole paradigm, their belief system has been set up in certain principles or certain way of life. That if they introduce into this way of life a spirituality, sense of spirituality, or spiritual principles, they're going to have to change up their whole way of thinking,
Absolutely.
and they don't want to do that.
I'm chuckling, James, because that happened to me. I was so much a Christian-based girl coming up through Sunday school and confirmation and things like that, that when it started to happen to me, I just panicked. I thought something evil or something bad had got me. And it's taken many years for me to understand that really I just needed to open the door of the soul and it would take me on my pathway.
Well, I want to thank you, Mavis, for stopping by my house and visiting from England and sharing some time together. Any last thoughts you have?
And can we just say to the people, you know, if you're a healer, if you're a nurse, if you're a writer, if you're a guy who works in the post office, or you're a guy who works in any way, shape or form that touches humanity, that in its own true form is the soul's work. And that's what we'd like to develop, isn't it,
Very
James?
true. And